It's news time. Information is power. Be current. The news headline: Biafra, how IPOB can get Nnamdi Kanu released. Von Diji Okechukwu. Osita Okenchukwu, the Director General of Voice of Nigeria (VON), has advised the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB) to join the Ohanaeze Ndigbo to seek political solution regarding Nnamdi Kanu's release. He opined that this would help the Southeast pursue its presidential ambition. Okechukwu gave the advice on Sunday in a chat with reporters in Enugu, where he said that IPOB should join Professor George Obiozor-led Ohanaeze Ndigbo to kill birds with one stone, he counseled. The All Progressive Congress APC chieftain said that shutting down states would only cause more more loss of lives, and Okechukwu warned that such would also lead to poverty, underdevelopment, and stagnation of the region's economy. Working with Ohanaeze for political solution is not cowardice but pragmatic and unbitter truth solution, Okechukwu said. Though people share the IPOB's agitation for secession, Igbo people had passed the road of civil war. While shutting down is happening, the Yorubas and others are yearning to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari. Okechukwu said that though people share the same bitterness of the marginalization of the Southeast, it is pragmatic for the Ohanaeze, the IPOB, to collaborate with the Ohanaeze so as to ensure that there is a political solution in such collaboration, and they need to shed the swords together. That the decision of the IPOB would affect the Southeast region in a very unpleasant way. Ohanaeze Ndigbo released a statement on October 24 saying that any declaration that unleashes untold hardship, leads to the collapse of commercial and industrial activities, boycott of Anambra elections, and interrupt the academic calendar in the southeastern state is nonsensical, absurd, and anti-Igbo, saying that the IPOB should discern that there was a self-determination struggle in Africa before now, and yet it is impulsive and reckless to order Ndigbo to observe a one-week sit-at-home order when it is obvious that Nnamdi Kanu will not be released without the approval of the court. Ohanaeze Ndigbo says that IPOB should revisit and nullify the one-week sit-at-home order, or they will lose the support of the Indigbos henceforth, saying that Ndigbo must participate in Anambra election, and Ohanaeze Ndigbo stated that nothing must stop the Anambra governorship election from taking place, and that IPOB must learn to accommodate the wishes of the people. Also, the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, has also expressed their fears and concern that the indigenous people of Biafra's fresh order may threaten their preparation for the poll. Anambra State Resident Electoral Commissioner of INEC, Dr. Nwachukwu Oji, disclosed this after the opening ceremony of the Election Monitoring and Support Center (EMSC) Amber Zone Implementers Workshop held in the state. He noted attacks on INEC facilities in the state that happened on May 23rd were a source of worry to the commission, especially as it tries to achieve huge success in the poll. He went on to say that the commission had so far recruited and mobilized about 25,000 ad hoc staff that would man the 5,720 polling units in the Southeast. Our preparations are on course, even with all the challenges we are facing, such as the attacks on our state office on May 23rd and the sit-at-home order, which is eating into our preparations. But we are doing our best to ensure that we overcome these challenges, and we can only urge the public to remain law-abiding in order to achieve the desired electoral success in the state, he said. The Apex Igbo Sociocultural Group had therefore appealed to the indigenous people of Biafra to revisit their declaration of a sit-at-home order for the 1 week, during which the Anambra State governorship election will hold. The chairman of African Democratic Congress, Ralph Oke Umosu, feared that there may be not an election or there would be a flawed election. I heard the federal government has sent some security operatives to invade the southeast, and you ask why? Where we have serious security challenge, the northeast, northwest, Kaduna, etc. You pulled the security personnel away from there, and you are taking them to Anambra for an election where there is supposed to be order, but the federal government is causing the disorder. The attitude of the government is causing serious disorientation of how a society should be. The federal government must sit down and dialogue with IPOB leaders to do things right. The southeast is clean and does not pose any security threat to the nation. Rather, the people in the villa are deliberately promoting chaos by their unjust ways and inability to manage the diversity in the country. He added that the way the federal government is handling Nnamdi Kanu's case, an IPOB issue, is not right. The federal government must try to align with the policy principles while pronounce people who are agitating against some youths in the society terrorists. That is wrong. This detention of Nnamdi Kanu, whose purpose does it serve? For me, the federal government is doing something that is fundamentally wrong. Assuming the founding fathers of Nigeria are alive and the state is modeling up the way it is doing, would they just keep quiet or look power in the face and stay stop this rubbish? What is manifesting in the southeast is the incompetence and bad governance that is happening at the national level. For me, it is time the security forces and the federal government calm down from their high horses and follow international protocol. The governorship candidate of the party, African Democratic Congress (ADC), Nze Akachukwu Nwakpo, also called on the federal government to dialogue with the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for peace to reign in the southeast. The former advisor to former President Goodluck Jonathan pointed out the incarceration of Kanu, that it would aggravate the situation instead of solving it. He also observed that the detention of Kanu would make millions of his cult members restive, reminded that Kanu had built a widespread and bigger network of adherents, some of who might actually not be in a position to control and may resort to self-help if he was still left behind bars. Nwakpo advised the federal government to fashion out best approaches to resolving the face-off with the agitators for self-determination rather than to deploy maximum force. Nwakpo therefore cautioned against harassment of innocent citizens by security agents, especially those deployed to Igbo land. He maintained that undue harassment and intimidation are tended to make the youth to develop thick skin to security threats and courage to get involved in the agitations. Thanks for listening.